up, guys? It's WADZ with the WADZ channel. How you guys doing? And welcome back to our Overland build. And if we haven't met before, on this channel, we're focused on adventure, exploring, gear reviews, and taking you to must-see places. Now, let's talk about what's behind me here. We're gonna do a review on the Treeline tent. This unit here is the Ponderosa Constellation. It's a 3 to 4 person tent. It's a 4-season tent. I did a lot of research on tents, which you're probably doing right now because you're watching this video.
Please hold for the next available sales representative.
Sounds very professional and educated.
I'd like to share with you some of the hidden secrets from the manufacturers that they're not going to tell you about their tents. Trying to find out what's in the inside of the frame, right?
Like the frame is made out of aluminum, and then, yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you. I've never had that question before.
Never had that question before?
Nope.
No one ever asks them that information because no one even really flippin' knows that there is quality bases out there. And what I focused on when buying this tent, and what I think you guys should also focus on, or at least consider when purchasing your tent. Now, one of the dirty little secrets the manufacturers are not going to tell you is their foam-filled bases. Sandwich base. That's supposed to impress me that it's a sandwich base. Now, one of my primary criteria was to try and find the strongest base possible. This is the strongest base possible I could find. But here's the key differentiator. This base is made out of aluminum. The outside's aluminum. The inside is a honeycomb design. Now, that's a key differentiator. And by the way, this honeycomb design is also used by NASA in aerospace. They use it for its insulation value, its strength, its durability. Treelines incorporated that design in their base to make sure that it has a stronger insulation value. Also, its ability to hold weight and be durable. This doesn't even have a maximum capacity of this tent, and that's largely to do with its design, or solely to do with its design. So the honeycomb design is easily the best base design you can get in a rooftop tent. Here's the little dirty little secret though. When you look on the website with all the other guys, impregnated top. See, they try and get all fancy with these terms. Cracks me up. Impregnated top. Really? That's what you're saying? They'll talk about things like polyurethane, polyethylene, EPV, EPA, high strength foam, diamond plate. Oh, geez, that thing must be strong. But when you look into the finer details and you ask them, how thick is your aluminum? They get nervous when you ask them that, and they usually don't even have the answer. The answer is very, very, very thin. When you ask them how thick their diamond plating is, they usually don't have an answer for that either. And all diamond plating is a pattern that's stamped on the aluminum. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be strong, which is why when you look on their website, it'll have weight capacities or maximums of 650 pounds. This base here doesn't have a maximum. The maximum is how much your rack can hold. Bomber, battle tested, aerospace tested, great base. Sorry about the rant, but it was like pulling teeth to get them to tell me exactly what their bases were made out of. These latches, they hold 40 pounds. And you can throw fly rods in there, fishing rods, axes. You can get gear off the ground. When it's snowing or it's snowing and raining, you don't want your gear on the ground, right? So now you got a place to stow it. Look at all the storage. Also this ladder, guys, they have one of the widest ladders on the market, and they use really thick materials in the ladder, which is really good because, you know, I'm pushing 200 pounds, right? And, you know, the kids are like, you know, up and down really fast and jumping on it. You know, it's their truck treehouse, right? So it's gonna take some abuse. The last thing I want my tent manufacturers cheaping out on my ladder, which gets me in there. Oh, and by the way, which partially holds this up, right? Let's get inside the tent and share with you some of the finer details, because the devil's in the details, I guarantee it. One of the biggest things I've noticed with Treeline tents is the fact that you have a 360-degree view. So all the way around, you have a view. This is one of the biggest differentiators. Have a look at this, guys. You've got a double skylight. Some tents on the market, you'll just have a single sunroof. Most tents on the market, you won't have a sunroof at all. Treeline tents has two. So, and that's real nice. You can stand up right out of this. What do you say, guys?
Oh, what's up? That's the hole in the rooftop there.
So there's a view of the double skylight. On hot days, lots of ventilation. So, all right. And then poles are 2 mil thick as opposed to 1 mil. So you notice on the poles they have these insulation, condensation wraps. Mattress, you got a 2.5-inch mattress, and this top is removable so you can wash that. You got a nice view, nice wide open door. You got a view of the annex. And that's, you'll notice right away most tents on the market will not, if not all tents, will not have a front window in their annex. And when you've got this completely closed off, it's not dark inside the annex, so that's nice. Now you can see I've got 3 extra wide North Face sleeping bags in here, but you could easily fit 4 sleeping bags in here, no problem with that at all. But I've fit 2 adults and 2 kids in here quite comfortably. The fabric here, it's a really, really thick fabric. One of the thickest fabrics on the market, if not the thickest. It's the 380 grams per square foot. And a mildew resistant. It's even a fire resistant rated. You can feel it to touch. It's just a really strong, durable, really good for keeping the heat in and keeping the wind and moisture out, and also keeping it nice and dark.
When you're trying to sleep in the morning, it's all about grams per square meter. Don't let anybody tell you any different. So that fabric thickness, it makes a huge difference. And I'll open the door here. And your red flag, guys, should be when it says D. If it just says Denier and doesn't say grams per square meter, you can almost always guarantee that it's under 300 grams per square meter. This stuff here, it's burly. It's gonna put up to a pounding.
All right, so that's what it looks like with the rain cover, guys. We just put that up. It's really quite nice because they give you these extra rods here to keep that tight above the awning as well. So one is just for the window, one's for the fly. So that's great there because it keeps things really nice and tight in that area of the tent. And then all the way along the fly, you've got nice beefy straps holding it down in the front as well. You can really get it tight, and on the side as well. If you're going to focus on only 3 things when buying a rooftop tent, do yourself a favor. At least consider these 3 things: the base, the thickness of the material, and the shape. Now the shape, that might sound, okay, of course, the shape, but make sure that if you're worried about snow load or heavy rain or wind, have a look at the corners to make sure that they're rounded. You're asking yourself, why is it important to have rounded corners? Well, if you have squared off edges, that's where you're going to have sagging material, that's where you're going to collect water, that's where you're going to collect snow. Having the corners rounded everywhere, this rounded design is going to ensure that water rolls off, snow load rolls off. That's what you want. Lastly, a pet peeve, guys. You'll hear a lot of guys say, why would you spend so much money on a tent? They're all made in the same factory anyways. They're made by the same person. So if you want to go ahead and spend an extra a couple $1,000s on your tent just so you can have a logo on it, or Treeline logo, or a Tepui logo, you go ahead, fill your boots. I'm going to spend $1,000 and get a Smitty built. Okay, these guys here spend a lot of time sourcing their materials, sourcing a specific factory to make sure that the quality control that comes, or the quality that comes from their factory, and the fabrics that come from out of that factory are the very best. So guys, thanks for joining me for the review and walk around and tips on the rooftop tent here. This is the Ponderosa 3 to 4 person, 4-season Constellation in the color of... What color this is, the Ponderosa Constellation, is referred to as the spruce. The spruce.